The Scanny Boys are less about skill and more about positioning and smart decisions. They can adapt to any situation thanks to their decent armor, great firepower options, and the ability to carry more than one nade. This makes them jacks of all trades, but masters of none. Actually, I don't know about that last part. Hello, the name's AJ, and in this guide I'll explain you how to become a better tactical from the backline. There will also be a short section about ways of countering them, but due to their flexibility, it won't be as specific as the rest of the guides. I will be talking about both the multi-melta and the melta rifle on a different video. So if you want to learn how to use them or how to counter them, check that one out. Here we go! Let's start with the equipment and ability. Melee and sidearm. Your main weapon will be the one doing most of the talking, so this part is the least important one. Your melee options are bad, and that's okay because you don't really want to be meleeing anyways. The chainsword is the best because it breaks guards easier, and that mobility combo of dodging plus melee, but it's really loud. You will only use it when respawning or maybe when escaping. For the sidearm, just go with the plasma pistol. Auspex Scan. It's a great ability that both marks the enemy and makes them take more damage. Scanning allows you to melt low armor targets like vanguards, take fights that you would normally outright lose, and it even marks cloaked snipers. The scanner can be an offensive tool, but a defensive one as well, since you can briefly kind of lock down spaces by giving the enemy the option of either waiting or getting scanned. Marking flankers for your teammates is also a good use of the ability. It's a sphere that goes through objects, so you can use it if you think an enemy might be around the corner or even on the level above you. If you're loyal to the big E, your scanner is green. It will be purple if you're an heretic, which makes it almost impossible to tell if it's a friendly scan or not on the Hellbrute mode. Grenades. The crack and fragmentation grenades can be fun to use and help you with the enemy front line, but you know me, I think the shock grenade is hands down the best option. And the fact that they give them not one but two can make the tactical one of the most powerful and annoying opponents. Restocking is even more important for this class. Pick your weapons. While they have access to the widest main weapon selection, I believe that you only have three real alternatives. The shotgun or melta rifle for close quarters, the plasma incinerator, which I think is the best weapon for medium to short distances, and the stalker bolt rifle for medium to long range. The plasma incinerator is probably the best option if you're gonna be on the backline. As with the rest of the plasma weapons, sometimes you have to lead your shots, but it also gives you the opportunity of opening with a charge shot on unsuspecting players. People can hear you charging the guns, so keep that in mind. Only use the stalker bolt rifle if you have really good aiming, or if you want to go for a more snipey approach. In any case, both guns have basically the same playstyle, and most of these guys will assume you're using the plasma incinerator. As I mentioned in the intro, the shotguns will get a different video. Alright, that's the equipment part. Let's talk about the actual way of playing the Scanny Boys. Position, position, position. As I mentioned in my general advanced guide, your positioning has a lot to do with your kit and whether you're part of the main force or flanking. Like I said, I'm assuming you're using the plasma incinerator, which makes you both great at DPS and support. Due to this, your ideal spot would be in the backline of the main force. However, you should also use your flexibility to respond to threats. Be ready to momentarily be part of the front line, deal with flankers, or go for a quick flank yourself. Quick note, be careful with nades aimed at your front line, because they might miss them and kill you instead. Keep your head on a swivel. From the backline, you should be supporting your front line by focusing enemies and covering retreats with nades, firepower, or even body blocking. Remember to be aware of friendly pings and try to prioritize the biggest threats to your team as a whole. For example, it's common for me to ignore bulwark. This depends on many factors, but a good prioritizing process would go like this: flyers, flankers, snipers, scanned enemies, players that are already being shot at by teammates. You can really punish the enemy for bunching up by blinding them with a nade and or scanning them. Dealing with flankers. Again, skies and flanks should be priority for you. If you want to know more about dealing with flyers, check out my previous assault guide. But basically they are squishy, loud, and expose themselves when flying. Whether the flank comes from the ground or above, the idea is the same. I reposition into a place where I can ambush or at least hold them off, and where the main enemy force isn't likely to shoot at me. If they spot you and don't start pushing you, you can also wait for them or carefully push them. Don't forget to open with a nade. The tactical class is one of the best at dealing with flankers. Quick flanking. You should constantly look for opportunities to do a quick flank. Prioritizing in these cases is good, but not as important. If the enemy team catches you, get what you can and get out. If all you got was an Auspex scan, that's perfectly fine. Remember to prioritize staying alive over getting kills, and if you're getting lots of assists, it means you're doing a great job. Look at this scoreboard. I barely killed anyone, but only died twice and got a ton of assists. That means I did a really good job, if you don't mind me saying so. Playing as an assault is all about smart decisions, and in order to make those, think of the 3 Ps. is position, priority, and patience. Let's analyze this clip. I'm shooting at someone, but as soon as I see this assault, I immediately switch targets. There's gonna be more shooting. I'm not gonna get the kill because I'm not leaving my shots. I know there's a flyer behind that wall. So I scan and I actually get 3 of them. I run there to support the other teammate that is still fighting. And now most of them are dead. I hear an assault, I just turn back and we start shooting at him. That was a terrible mistake on his behalf. Remember to not push alone. Now, I don't have any nades and most of the other team is dead, so I'm gonna use this time to go back and restock. Let's speed things up. I use my scan in that weird position because I want the assault to be scanned once he lands. And he dies. But my teammates are also dead. There's only me and some other guys, so we start retreating. I decide to wait for the rest of my teammates here because I have cover right next to me and I have a good view of the battlefield. I might not be able to shoot at this guy, but I can still ping him, so I do. I begin repositioning, but then I see this teammate still shooting, so I decide to go back and help him, but I don't have any armor, so I'm just gonna scan and continue repositioning. I could push more, but I don't want to because I don't know where the flyers are, so I'm gonna stay a little behind. Kill one and immediately go back to watching the flanks. That's the basic idea of playing Assault. I didn't get any opportunities to do a quick flank because there were 2 assaults that I had to worry about. And that's fine because that's not my role. The Vanguard and the Assault on my team were actually doing the flanking. That's how it's supposed to be. A good tactical will always be near the rest of their teammates. This can make it really hard to get them, but they aren't immortal. Let's talk about ways of countering those pesky scanny boys. Remember that I won't cover the Melta variant and instead upload a different video on how to use and counter it. As explained at the beginning of the video, the tacticals are so flexible that all of the classes are neither good nor bad at countering them. For the same reason, this will mostly be general tips applied to the tactical. I swear I try to get more specific. If you have other ways of dealing with them, let me know in the comments. Nullify. To be honest, the best counter to them is to not let them do their thing. While it would be nice to get rid of them, you just have to ensure they don't have an impactful contribution to the fight. There's usually other targets to prioritize, so sometimes it's better to just outright ignore them. Overwhelm and flank. Give them more than one target to worry about. See if you can ask your teammates to focus them so they're forced to take cover every time they peek. The more pressure you can apply, the more likely it will be for them to make a mistake. Remember that you can use the third person view to observe them, wait for them to engage, and strike them once they're distracted. Keep your distance and wait out the scanner. If you aren't bunched up, they can only scan one of you, and their grenades will also be less effective. I've been talking about how great the scanner is, but even though running away if scan is usually a good option, it's not the only one. If you decide to stay, get to a spot from which you can quickly disengage. Don't get into straight fights and or shoot from behind your teammates. If they scan right in front of you, you might want to wait a couple seconds before advancing. Mind the nades. Again, being next to each other is a bad idea since they have 2 nades. Don't blindly push or you'll get actually blinded. Be ready to dodge and always be aware of your surroundings so you can get to cover even if you get the white screen. Master of none. Use their flexibility against them. You have a sniper rifle? Put some distance between you two. Your team has a better front line? Push a bit harder. He's shooting at someone else? Catch his bullets with your shield. In other words, try to fight them under your own terms. That's all I have for you guys. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.